السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نبئ عبادي أني أنا الغفور الرحيم وأن عذابي هو العذاب الأليم. صدق الله العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد في أول كلامنا، اللهم صل على محمد في أوسط كلامنا، اللهم صل على محمد في آخر كلامنا. Alhamdulillah, today it is 1/3 of Ramadan finished. Now we are in the second third of Ramadan. Do anybody know which surah was recited today in the Taraweeh? Anybody here can tell me which surah we heard in Taraweeh today? Suratun J. Somebody mentioning something. Anybody else? Surah? Anybody know which surah was recited today in the Taraweeh? One surah that I would like to highlight, Surah An-Nahl, which is also another name, Surah An-Ni'am, because Allah talks about His blessings in this surah. The name of the surah is Nahl. Nahl means bee, honeybee. Allah mentions that Allah gives instructions to the bee, and the instructions Allah gives to eat from all the different fruits, all the different plants, and then to give out the honey that we consume, which is a cure for many illnesses. In one hadith, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions, we need to listen to this hadith very attentively. He mentions the example of a mu'min. Before the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions this, he takes an oath. وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ, by the one in whose control my life is. The example of a believer is like the example of a honeybee. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is given a similarity between the bee with the believer. What is the similarity between the bee and the believer? Once another hadith also comes to mind, mashallah, something for the youth. The Prophet ﷺ was sitting with the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, hadith of Bukhari, and he told the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, there is a certain tree which is like a believer, which is like a mu'min. Haddithuni ma hiya, can you tell me which that tree is, which one it is? So now the Sahaba, they started thinking, they started naming some of the trees in the deserts and in the mountains, and nobody got the right answer. And there was a little boy, a little youngster, about 10-12 years old, Abdullah ibn Umar. He knew the answer, but because there were so many people sitting, big Sahaba sitting there, people like Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Umar radiallahu anhu, and many others, they were sitting, his own father, Umar, he was very shy to say it. Then the Prophet ﷺ himself gave the answer. When he saw that nobody was giving the answer, he himself gave the answer. He said, it is the palm tree, an-nakhla. When Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu and Umar radiallahu anhu, they left the gathering, they went away after the program finished, they were going home. On the way, Abdullah ibn Umar, the young boy, 10-12 years old, he said to his father, that that, "Oh my father, you know that question which the Prophet ﷺ asked, I knew the answer." As soon as he said the question, immediately Allah put the answer in my heart. I knew it. So Umar radiallahu anhu said, "Why didn't you mention it? You should have answered the question." He says, "I felt really shy. There was people like yourself there were people like Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu there, and many other Sahaba. I felt very shy." So Umar radiallahu anhu said, "Oh my son, if you would have answered that question at that moment in time, it would have been better for me than so many different things in the world. That my young boy has answered the question right. He has the knowledge of deen." That is the youth of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. One incident comes to mind of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. There is a king, a Christian king. He gives a challenge to the Muslims that, "Look, I've got a few questions for the Muslims. If the Muslim answer those questions correctly, they will be honored. They will be given so much gold, so much silver, so many gifts, and then they will get a positive media coverage as well. And if the Muslim, they don't answer the question correctly and they don't give the right answers, then they will not receive anything, and on top of that, they will be humiliated." So now the time was arranged. Everybody gathered. A stage is put up. The Christian minister, he comes forward, he gets on the stage, and he sits down on the stage, and he starts challenging. He said, "I have 3 questions for you today. I have 3 questions." So he poses the questions. There are many, many great scholars, imams in the audience, but nobody is willing to get up to the stage and answer the questions. They don't know how to answer the question, for whatever reason. Nu'man, a little young boy, again around 12, 14 years old. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he became later on, but that time his name is Nu'man ibn Thabit. He says to his father Thabit that, "Oh my father, can I go on the stage and answer this question?" The inspiration of the young boy, just in his teens or even less. So his father says, "Oh my son, there are great ulama here, great scholars here, imams here, you let them answer the question. There's a lot of people here." But then that Christian minister was posing the questions and nobody was going up, and he was getting frustrated that, "Why isn't anybody answering my question? Is it because they don't know the answer or anything?" And he started saying things against Islam. So the young boy, he stood up and he quietly made his way on the stage, because he couldn't see that nobody is responding. So he went up. He told that minister, "Before I start answering your questions, tell me one thing. Are you the questioner, or are you the one being questioned?" So I said, "I'm the questioner." So he said, "This is the general rule in the world, that the one who is questioning, he's standing, and the one who is being questioned, he's sitting. So you stand up, let me sit down. Let's swap places." So now the minister stood up, and the young boy, he sat down. He said, "Okay, now pose your first question to me. What is question number 1? So question number 1 is, what came before Allah? We say that Allah has been there from the beginning. What came before Him? There must have been something." So he said, "Do you know how to count?" So he said, "Yes." So he said, "Start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, He says, okay, you started from 1. What came before 1? Why did you start from number 1? What came before? He said, how can something come before? The number has to start from somewhere. So he started from 1. So he said, if nothing can come before the number 1, can anything ever come before the real 1? If nothing can come before number 1, can anything ever come before the real 1? Who is answering this question? Young boy. Question number 2. Which direction is Allah facing? Right, left? Which direction is he in? So he said, can you lit a candle? So I said, yes. So he said, so they lit a candle. So which direction is the light going? You have a light. So say, it's nur, it's a light. It faces all directions. It goes everywhere. It's not just on one side, it goes all the sides, all the way around it, it gives light. So say, Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. Can he ever be bound to a certain direction? Little boy. Third question. What is Allah doing right now? What is Allah doing at this moment in time? So Nu'man said that Allah saw a non-Muslim like you sitting with honor. He made him stand. And Allah saw a little boy like me standing. He made him sit down. This is what my Allah did just now. The minister had nothing to say anymore, and he left, leaving all his gifts and everything. These were the children once upon a time. These were the youth, which the ummah is proud of. Today we need to revive this, inshallah. Where, inshallah, the youth that we have today, they become something which the whole ummah can be proud of. And as a ummah, we are in need of people like these. People like Abdullah ibn Umar, who knew the answer. People like Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, I mentioned it earlier on. He was a very small person, short, small, short, thin. But there is one quotation of his in Sahih Bukhari. He mentions that there is no verse in the Quran except I know exactly why it was revealed, when it was revealed, and everything that is related to it. I know everything about it. And if there is anybody at this moment in time who has more knowledge of the Quran and the verses of the Quran in the world than me, I will go to him and learn from him. Even I have to sacrifice and travel for days. This is Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu. So we need to link ourselves with the Quran. Learn the blessings of the message of the Quran. So today the topic I have been given is the mercy of Allah, being hopeful of the mercy of Allah. The verse which I recited before you, Almighty Allah mentions, tell my slaves, Nabbi ibadi, inform my slaves. Who are the slaves? Me and you. Allah is telling Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam to give a message to me and you. It's not a WhatsApp message. It's not a shout out from your friend on social media. It is a shout out from Allah Himself. It's a divine message. Message directly from Allah. What is the message? Anni ana al-ghafur rahim. I am very, very merciful. I am very merciful. But then on the other hand, you need a balance. وَأَنَّ عَذَابِي هُوَ الْعَذَابُ الْأَلِيمُ. But my punishment is also very severe. So we need to have the hope in the mercy of Allah, that Allah is very forgiving, Allah is very merciful. and we have just gone past the 10 days of mercy. Now we need to go past the 10 days of forgiveness. Inshallah, in this month of Ramadan, we should make Allah so proud, we should make Allah so happy that we become deserving of His mercy. Before the Eid gifts and the Eid messages starts, Allah should send His forgiveness to us. Allah should shower us with His mercy. Allah should send His message to us that, oh my slave, I am so proud of you, I have forgiven everything of you. That should be the message. If a person receives all the Eid messages, all the Eid gifts, all the happiness of Eid, but Allah is not happy with him, Allah is not happy with his Ramadan, is there any point? Allah give us understanding. So one or two incidents, inshallah, regarding the mercy of Allah, regarding the being hopeful and turning to Allah, and Allah will shower us with His mercy. I mentioned this incident yesterday as well in the other masjid. Let me share it with you. In the time of Harun was a king, Muslim ruler of the time, Harun Rashid, and he was not only ruling a little country, he was actually ruling 3 continents: the whole of Middle East, Asia, Africa, and many other countries. So 3 continents he was the king of. So one day it came to his attention that in a certain location, certain neighborhood, certain suburb, there is a lot of robbery going on. People's belongings, people's houses are getting broken into, people's valuables are getting stolen, and they just can't seem to locate the robbers, who it is. So Harun was very concerned, so he got his army together and he said, we need to get to the bottom of this. We need to know who these people are, who the criminals are. We need to get hold of them. We need to teach them a lesson. So the army is dispatched. They are sent to, when they do the investigation, they realize that they are a group of 10 of them. Same 10 people are doing the robbery everywhere, and they are professional robbers. So Harun, when he gets the message, then he says that I want to see all 10 of them in front of me. Arrest all of them now and bring them in front of me. So as they are arresting them, one manages to escape and he runs away. They tried to go after him, but he got his way out. So now they only had 9, because one escaped. So now they started thinking that if we go back to Harun, our king, with 9, and he finds out that we let one of them run away, we may lose our job. That is the whole reason I sent you there, and you couldn't even do your job properly. How did you let one of them run away? So we need to somehow get a 10th person so we can show him all 10 in front of him. So they saw some farm there, a farmer who was doing some of his farming, some simple person, some innocent person. They arrested him just to make that 10th number up, and they brought him. Now that person is shouting that, what have I done? Why am I getting arrested? But they were just more worried about getting all the 10 in front of the king. Now, when all of the 10, they come in front of the king doesn't know the reality, that look, these 9 are the criminals, this one is totally innocent. He just is told that all of these are the criminals, these are the 10. So now the penalty, this judgment is made that you will be in prison for so long, you need to go into the prison, this is the fine you need to pay. Now that innocent person, he's totally confused. He's thinking, he's telling the king that I'm innocent, I haven't done anything. But that's what everybody says. The king doesn't know the reality behind his issue. Anyway, all of them are put into the cells, and they all started writing to their families that, look, we have been caught once again and we are in the prison, and please bail us out of here. So they were professional, they knew how to play the game. So after a month or two, one of them was bailed out by his friends and family. After another few months, another one went, and like this, all the 9 were free. And that 10th one is still there, who wasn't meant to be there in the first place. Totally innocent, but he's still there. So the prison officers, they come to him and he said, look, you could be here for months or years. You also better start writing to your family to bail you out of here. So he says, I am a simple farmer. Every morning I go to the farm, I do a bit of farming, cleaning, I get a little bit of income, I get the food on the table, that's about it. That's my food for the day. I don't know how long I have been stuck in this place. I don't know if my family has eaten during that time, if they're still alive or not. And if I write to them telling them that this is the penalty you need to pay, this is how much you need to pay to get me out of here, to bail me out, whatever little bit of life they have, even that will finish. So I don't know what to do. So the prison officer said, it's your choice, you need to do something. There's no other way. So then one day he said, okay, bring me a pen, bring me a paper. So he started writing. He says that, he starts writing the letter, min abdil faqir ila rabbil jalil, from a hopeless, poor, helpless slave to the Almighty, merciful Allah. Oh Allah, I have no idea why I am here, why I have been put into this situation, what I have done, why has this happened to me. I have no idea what is happening. But oh Allah, I know you are there, and I know you will take me out of this situation, and I know you are the most merciful. Oh Allah, I have nobody besides you who I can turn to, who I can write to. And then he folded the paper and he told the prison officer, go outside, just blow it in the wind. So the prison officer is thinking that this person doesn't seem too focused. He doesn't seem to be very clued on with his mind. Anyway, he said, just do it. Just do what I've told you. So the prison officer, he goes outside and he blows it in the wind. At that time, Harun, the king of the time, he's taking an afternoon nap. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes into his dream. What a dream, Allahu Akbar. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that, Man ra'ani fil manami faqad ra'ani. The one who has seen me in his dream, he has actually seen me. Allah give us such dreams where we get to see Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our dream. That is a true blessing of Allah, where we can see the best of all the creation of Allah in our dream. What an honor! What an honor! The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions, the one who will see me in this world, he will see me in the next world. Meaning, if a person sees Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this world, in his dream, inshallah he will meet Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of Qiyamah. Allah give us that love for Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah give us that connection with Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If a person loses connection today with his Wi-Fi, with his internet, is as if he has lost the world. He cannot keep in touch. He will send a message but he won't go through because the internet connection is not connected. Similarly, today our connection with Allah is not strong enough, or in some cases it's not even there. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they were so strongly connected with Allah that one dua and immediately the results came down. One click, one dua and the results were shown. One dua, no rain, rain came down. One dua, stop the rain, rain was stopped. One dua, oh Allah help me in this situation, Allah's help came. One dua, oh Allah take me out of this situation, Allah took them out of the situation. Allah is still there. Allah hasn't gone anywhere. The connection is still the same from that side. The coverage is still the same. Have we installed that connection into our lives or not? That is the question today. Have I installed it in my life? If it is not installed, how can I be connected? Ramadan is the month to install that connection. And that connection will be with you in this world. That connection will be with you in your grave. And that connection will take us all the way to Jannah. That is the connection. So anyway, Harun, he's taken an afternoon nap and he sees Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his dream. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Harun, you are sleeping. How dare you sleep? Wake up right now. Go to the prison. There is a friend of mine there. Take him out of that prison. Ask forgiveness from him. Make him happy. Shower him with gifts. Send him home with honor. If you will not do this, I will not intercede for you on the day of Qiyamah. So now Harun, immediately he gets up, he loses his sleep. He makes his way towards the prison, he runs there. You know, all the ministers, all the security, they're all running after him. What's happening? Tell us, we'll do it for... No, I need to do it personally. He goes to the prison. He sees that person in his cell, remembering Allah on one side. He opens the cell, takes the person out of there, he asks forgiveness from him, he showers him with gifts, sends him home. He said, you are the greatest wali of Allah. That is the connection. Today, each and every one of us feel like that. We feel lost. We cannot see the answers in our life. We don't know why we are in this type of situation, be it on a personal level, be it family level, be it community, be it the whole ummah. We can't seem to find the answers. Why is this happening to me? What have I done wrong? What did this person do wrong? Why was he put in this situation? Something to think about. Now, after the situation, Harun gave him so much gifts, he was showered with so much that he doesn't need to work for the rest of his life. He doesn't need to work. If he hadn't gone through that situation, if he hadn't gone through this whole phase of these few months in the cell and all this issue, do you think he would be in this position where he is today? He would still be doing his little bit of farming and bringing the food to the table, little bit of food every day. That's all. He would still have to be working. Sometimes Allah puts us in a situation because Allah wants to give us more. Allah has a better plan. Allah gives, showers His mercy, His mercy, His mercy. He never takes anything. If Allah has taken anything from us, it is a sign that He wants to give us even more. We need to keep that hope. We need to have that faith. Are we judging Allah, like the Imam mentioned earlier on? Are we judging Allah by the thousands of things He has already given us? Or are we judging Allah by the one thing He still hasn't given us? If we look at the one thing Allah hasn't given us, then we will never be able to appreciate the blessings of Allah upon us. But if you look at the وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ, look at yourself. Look at yourself. What hasn't Allah given us today? Is this not the mercy of Allah? That Allah has made us, given us all these blessings upon blessings. This is all the mercy of Allah. This is all the greatness of Allah. This is all the kindness of Allah. Rahman al-dunya wa Rahim al-akhirah. Ya ibn Adam. The Prophet ﷺ mentions the hadith al-Qudsi. The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah is saying this. What does Allah say? Ya ibn Adam, khalaqtu as-samawat wa lam a'ya bi khalqihin. I created the heavens, I created the earth. Allah is saying this. I didn't get tired. Feeding you, I will get tired. Feeding you, I will get tired. So, compared to the things Allah has done for us and Allah is doing in the world, Allah is making the sunrise, the sunset, Allah has created the skies, the oceans. The little things that I have in my life, can Allah not sort it out? That is why Ramadan is the month to show Allah that, oh Allah, we deserve your mercy, we need your mercy, we are in need of it. One last incident and then inshallah we finish. Dawud alayhi salam, very beautiful, Allah gave him a very beautiful voice. When he used to recite Zabur, subhanallah, when we are listening to Quran of Abdul Rahman, Abdul Basit, the Imam, whoever, then sometimes we get so into the recitation that we also started moving around with it, shaking our heads with it, movements, body movements. When Dawud alayhi salam used to read Zabur, never mind the humans, even the birds used to move around with him. Even the animals used to move around with him. That's the voice Allah gave him. So Dawud alayhi salam was the king of the time and he was the prophet of the time. So people used to come to him with the problems, with the issues, whatever they were going through, with the disputes. So once a woman came and she said that, look, is Allah just or unjust? Dawud alayhi salam said, what's the story? She said, look, I am a very poor woman. I do a little bit of knitting. I knit some towel or some cloth or something every day. And I take it to the market and I sell it. And with whatever money I get from it, I bring food for my family. Today, as I had finished knitting and I was taking whatever I had knitted to the market to sell it, a bird came and snatched it off me and flew away. What am I going to eat today? What am I going to feed my family today? Why is Allah doing this to me? Is Allah just or unjust? Is Allah just or unjust? Is Allah just or unjust? She just kept on repeating this. Dawud alayhi salam is trying to calm her down. Don't worry, don't worry. Allah is very merciful. Allah is very kind. Allah has better plans for you. Allah will look after you. Allah loves you. We are living in a time where people are getting depressed. People are going through suicidal thoughts. People don't feel the enjoyment in life anymore. Allah says something amazing in the Quran. Allah says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't kill yourself. Don't commit suicide. إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا. Allah loves you. Allah loves you. Don't you think Allah loves you, that Allah has looked after you till today? Why do you want to kill yourself? Why are you feeling suicidal? Nobody likes me in the world. I don't know what to do. That's the type of thoughts many people have. We have to deal with many times. So Allah, wherever Allah is addressing these issues, Allah always mentions His mercy. Just finish this incident, inshallah. So as the woman is still complaining, Dawud alayhi salam is trying to explain to her that don't worry, Allah is very merciful with you, Allah will look after you, Allah has some better things planned for you. She is still very frustrated, very upset, very angry. Just then two people they come and they have a whole sack of gold and they put it in front of Dawud alayhi salam and they say, all yours, do whatever you want to, give it to whoever you want. And they are about to walk away. Dawud alayhi salam said, wait, tell me the story behind this, what is this and who are you and everything. She said, look, we were on a business trip, we were traveling by ship, and the ship, we had a shipwreck and we were about to drown. And we made dua to Allah that, oh Allah, if you take us out of this situation, whatever income we have from this business, we will give all that in your path. So just at that moment in time when we made this pledge with Allah, a bird flew past and dropped a piece of cloth, knitted cloth down, which was just about enough to cover the wreck, time being, temporarily. And we quickly covered it and we came to safety. And this is the pledge we have made to Allah, all yours. Dawud alayhi salam said to that woman, this is in turn of the cloth, the bird snatched it off you, all yours. Now you tell me, is Allah just or unjust? Now you tell me. Is Allah merciful or not merciful? Is Allah kind or not kind? You tell me now. Like I mentioned, Allah is very merciful. And I don't need to tell you this. The whole Quran is filled with mercy. Ar-Rahman, allama al-Quran. Quran, time and time again. Inna Allah ghafurur rahim. Wallahu ghafurur rahim. Inna Allah kana bikum rahima. Allah loves you. May Almighty Allah shower me with His mercy, shower all of us with His mercy. All the time, not only in these 10 days of Ramadan that have gone past, all the time. Allah keep us in His mercy. We live a life filled with the mercy and the kindness of Allah, and we die with the mercy of Allah upon us. And inshallah, Allah shower us with His mercy in our graves. Allah shower us with His mercy on the day of Qiyamah, and we will inshallah all enter Jannah with the mercy of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ said that even me, I will also enter Jannah because of the mercy of Allah. May Allah make that a reality. Ameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala rasulina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.